Hi guys, and welcome to my YouTube channel. It's Baby Love Bug Hauls if you wish to subscribe. Okay, so in this video I'm going to tell you how I get my baby fish, my baby fry, my guppies out of my parents' tank without them eating them or losing them it's a nightmare, isn't it? You know, you go to feed your fish, you see all these little fry pop out from the gravel and you think, how am I going to get them out of there? What if the parents eat them? Don't panic. It's really simple. You get a hose like this. You'll see these in fish shops, syphon hoses, and basically you pop this end inside your tank, inside your adult tank. You may want to remove all your furniture inside your tank or your ornaments. You may want to take it out so you've got a better view. And then when you see them against the gravel, you put this hose inside the tank, you place it as close as you can to the little baby fry you see that you want to catch, and of course you very quickly start the syphon going and chuck it into your bucket. And as soon as you see the little baby come out this end of your syphon, remove the first end from your tank, otherwise you'll just get too much water. But basically these syphons are ingenious. I found that it doesn't harm my fry, not in the slightest, not even when I thought, what if it goes through this bit? No, it has not harmed my fry, as you can see. So, I take all my ornaments out of my parents' tank. I use the syphon to quickly remove them as fast as I can into a bucket every time I see one. I place the end of the syphon as close as I can. You don't always get them, they're quite quick. So, you know, a couple of tries with a syphon and you can usually send them down the whole line, straight into your bucket. And then you can come and take them to your fry tank and you can put them safely inside your fry tank, where the adults will no longer be able to eat them. Now, I want to tell you a little bit about my setup inside here, because a lot of people have been saying to me things like, oh, how can you have a filter like that that's uncovered? Aren't you worried you'll suck up your baby fish? You might kill them. Well, actually, no. But you will see in one of my earlier videos, I did used to cover this filter up with a little bit of white foam that I used some thread to stitch around the front here, because I was worried about the exact same thing. I was thinking, no, I can't have a filter that might be too strong. What if I suck them up? What if they die? And yes, that could be a possibility if you have a really strong filter. But you see, these filters I found are brilliant. I got these on eBay. They're the smallest version of the aqua filter. And I got the same with the little heaters. I got the smallest heater I could and the smallest filter I could. And this is just a sponge filter. Nothing fancy, just sponges inside, that's it. And I have never managed to suck any of my babies up into my filter. I've even been more confident, and now I've taken the silly thing I put on the front clean off. And as you see, they're fine. They're not getting sucked up. They even sometimes stick their faces right into the mesh to eat from the sponges, and they still don't get sucked up. Okay, so when I'm cleaning out my tank, I take out all of my equipment first. Then I take the bottom of the filter off. I take the little motor fan out of here. I unclip the top and I take the little motor's fan out and I clean all these in the water inside my tank, and then I put it all back together just to make sure there's no debris stuck inside the motor, because you don't want anything affecting your flow of your water. I use the spongy bit inside here with this plastic. I dump that down in my bucket for, you know, where I siphon the water out to. And you want to be able to siphon out about 80% of the water, so I literally leave about this much in the bottom, say an inch or two. I really do change nearly all the water. So once I've done that, I take a little scrubby sort of brush or whatever you want to clean your front of your tank with, and I clean all the sides of my tank, back, front, sides. I even clean the base, and then I tend to top back up with the water, clean my sponges off in my bucket with the dirty water, put my sponge filter base back, And then obviously I leave my fish in here while I'm doing this, because I've realised that if I do accidentally suck any fish out while I'm siphoning out that water, it's easy enough to take them back out the bucket and just put them back in. It doesn't harm them, not that I've found. And then once I've done that, I obviously treat with tap water treatment. I do use a nitro reducing chemical. It's like little beads floating around the water when you put it in, and that really helps, because you know you're feeding these guys so often that the nitrous levels can just skyrocket, you know, so you don't want that happening. So it's best to really go with everything you can. There's another thing I do that a lot of people don't do, which is I use Aquarius salt. I will use 1 teaspoon or half a teaspoon, maybe one per these tanks. I half it between them, so half a teaspoon, and this is about 10 litres, and this stuff's brilliant. I have never had an outbreak of disease, not in my baby tanks, not a chance. This stuff, I swear by it. It's better than all these silly treatments that people say, you know, oh, you've got to get this, and oh, you've got to get that. Really? Come on, you can't treat baby fish. Everyone knows that. So, I swear by a little bit of salt, and this has never harmed my baby fish, neither. In fact, I've never had an outbreak of disease, and so far, I totally swear by this stuff. Love it. So you might want to get yourself some of that. I use it in my big tanks too. So once I've done all that, you know, I put all the ornaments back, then I put these lids back on, and you can see these are terraria lids. These are terraria tubs, 10 litre terraria tubs, you know, what you'd usually get for snakes, spiders, things like that. Nothing fancy. Handy lid to open when I want to feed them. Lots of aeration so they can feed off the air at the surface. The salt obviously helps with the breathing and the gills and the skin and everything, and the scales. So you can see that this is how I've been cleaning out my baby's tanks. And so far, I've had many successful batches of fry. I haven't had any die. The only ones I've had to cull are the ones that were bent. Because that does happen. You do get fish that sometimes they'll have a bent spine. And you'll be like, oh, what do I do with that? I've got one up here that's a little bit bent at the moment. You can probably see just there. I've left it because it's just so pretty. I didn't really want to harm the poor little thing. So these ones in this tank here, they've got some gravel in the bottom, as you can see. They're a bit bigger. I'm trying to get them kind of used to a miniature version of a normal tank. And the temperature in this tank is half a degree less than that one. So that one's at about 80, 81. This one's at about 80, 79. This one's at about 79, 78. Usually 78. So you can see how I'm reducing the temperature as the fish get older before they go into the main tanks. And the same with my son's tank in his room. His is about 79 to 78, usually 78. So these guys here, they're about 2 months to 3 months old. And these ones here are about 1 month to 2 months old. So I kind of am expecting some fish to come out of my son's tank very soon, and I will be using my siphoning method to get them out of his tank. I will take all his ornaments out, I will use my siphoning tube in my bucket, and I will try and save as many as I can before the adults eat them. And then hopefully we shall have more babies. There's 18 in each of these tanks at the moment, and almost getting to the point where I might not be able to keep saving more baby fry from my son's tank. I might have to just stick with what I've got, let them be in his tank, let them try and survive in there, see what happens. Kind of running out of space. You know, you might see a video soon and you might see another 2 tanks stacked up on top of here. Ooh. So yeah, I'm getting a little overrun, as you can see. And this was just out of 2 guppies. My dark-tailed one and my lesser dark-tailed one. And the parents of these fish, I can probably show you in here. The parents of these fish would be these tuxedo, well, they're almost full-body tuxedo guppies. And I also put in Where are you? There's a leopard one. There we go. He went in, that leopard one there, and one of the tuxedo ones. Because there was 3 guppies at the time, one was too young to get pregnant. I put in the tuxedo ones and the leopard ones. I alternated them, put in like that one and that one, then took out that tuxedo one and put in that tuxedo one, and swapped them about. You know, I kind of just made sure every single one of them got a chance. So they're the daddies of all these fry. And I'm hoping I can get some really interesting half leoparded, almost more tuxedoed ones, and some really funky colours coming out. I showed you in my last video some of the ones I had in this tank that were yet to be sexed. I've put them in here, and they are starting to look like, you see this one here that's all sort of almost leopardy but more, I guess, endler body coloured. Some of the new babies I've put in, these ones, they look the same, they just haven't got there quite fully, you know, but you can see the similarity. You can see them catching up to that big one behind. They're getting there. So that's the last male babies that I put in my tank. So guys, I hope this has maybe been informational for you, and that it's maybe helped with anyone panicking to try and get fry out of their adult tanks, or if this has been helpful to anyone that's panicking over filters, or just anything really. I hope I've helped somebody out there go, oh, right, oh, that's easy. Okay guys, thanks for listening. See you later.